Hi, this is Dr. Randy Hurst doing some basic videos about mental health kind of subjects. If you haven't heard this before, please take this information, use it as you see fit. There's no therapy, there's no connection. I don't know individual circumstances, as well as if you ever find that it's just not working, discontinue, or that it makes things worse. Go get real help instead of listening to, an educational video, because this just covers some very basic things. Okay, on this, I'm titled this Balancing Positives and Negatives. And this is for feedback to your dog, if you're training a dog, your children, co-workers, subordinates at work, if you're a supervisor or something like that. And it's based on the idea, a couple of ideas, that training with punishment or negativity gets the trainee, let's call it, to avoid you, to do whatever you want in front of you, but not necessarily when you're not around. It's very clear with dogs. A dog that's trained with punishment, with harshness, will be very stressed, eager to try to please, to try to figure out what's wrong or what's the right thing to do and try to do it. They also get so rattled they usually do it wrong and then they're in trouble again. But if the trainer turns their back, the dog's doing what they want to do because they haven't really learned to do it for you. They only learn to do it for your eyes. But kids, there really isn't a lot of difference between kids and coworkers, subordinates, anything like that. You get much better results in training with positives. With a dog, it can be treats, petting, treats in the beginning, and then over time, using petting, good dog, verbal reinforcement, and try to pull away from the treats more and have it be the verbal. But, in the beginning, it's the food that works. Even with little kids, similar kind of thing. You do give a lot of reinforcement. Sometimes it is treats. They're more likely to be able to handle words, hugs, smiles, that sort of thing. But again, as I said in one of the other videos about training animals, the using positives takes longer. And so it's so easy to go for the harshness, the strong rebukes. Those work fast, just not well in the long run. So what's a proper balance? And I just read I saw a thing actually yesterday that reminded me. A good balance is not one positive for one negative, because the negatives have such a strong reaction in the brain, really. It triggers the fight or flight, the fear, the nervousness reaction. So it takes about 3 or 4 positives to kind of balance out the strength of one negative. And people, common sense doesn't suggest that. But practice, it really works. And do this with yourself. Are you hard on yourself? Do you give yourself rebukes? Are you just harsh with yourself? How can the positives shine through if you're that harsh? And it becomes its own, dependency to hammer, to think that works, because you've had situations where it's worked very fast. You just beat on yourself mentally, verbally, physically, and it seems like you focused better. It kind of works, but it's also what happens where people choke. They overwhelm with the nervousness, the upset, the agitation from what you're doing, how negative you are with yourself or with somebody else. So Look for things that you can notice yourself doing well. Look for what you could have done better, but image it, think about it, about what you can do in another time. And go into new situations with a plan to do better, and encourage yourself rather than be real harsh at yourself or at somebody else. And try to remember 3 positives. Notice yourself, notice what somebody else is doing. The difficulty with this, of course, is that it takes energy to notice. But it's the kind of investment, it's the kind of energy that really helps relationships, whether the relationship is with somebody else, your child, your spouse, a coworker, or yourself. Notice. At the end of the day, look back and notice what you did well. Give yourself that pat on the back rather than just hammer. Okay, hope it makes sense. 3 to 1, 4 to 1, way better. I asked a guy one day, he says, I do that, 3 or 4 to 1. 3 positives to 1, oh no, 3 negatives to 1 positive. And he was coming in because of problems with kids. And so it takes some real, it's so automatic to do the pattern that you've gotten into. That's where the wire together, fire together, wire together thing that I talk about in some other videos. That pattern can get so automatic that you have to really step back, stop, whoa, wait, remember, notice positives, 2, 3 to 1. Okay, thank you. Test it out, see if it doesn't help.